I'm Bram Resnick. I cover politics for 12 News, but for the last 25 years, I've also covered just about all of the off-ice shenanigans involving the Arizona Coyotes.
That's right, Bram. I'm Cameron Cox, sports anchor here at 12 News. Covered the Coyotes for the past 12 years here. Seen a lot of different things, of course, with the Yotes. And Bram's seen more owners than I have come through here. But the one constant with the Yotes back in the day was pure chaos from the front office, from ownership. And it now seems like with the team gone, Bram, there is a path now, a first step, I should say, to bring the Yotes and pro hockey back to the Valley. A serious one. This is not just something
a serious one, but we want to be careful. It's a first step. Back in January, Maricopa County Board Chairman Thomas Galvin surprised all of us by saying, you know what? I want to bring hockey back to the Valley. I think I know how to do it. Today, several months later, he showed us what the first step was, and it's naming Andrea Doan, the wife of Shane Doan, a legend with the Arizona Coyotes, to be the chair of a committee that's going to work to get people involved in bringing the team back and ultimately try to find an owner who will move a team here, build an arena here, and restart Arizona Coyotes hockey.
Yeah, bottom line, what fans need to know at home, and you're going to hear from Tom and Andrea in just a second, but the Doan family putting their name, probably the famous hockey family here in the Valley, right? The family, when you think of hockey in the desert, is trying to bring hockey back to Arizona, pro hockey too as well. Bram and I had a chance to sit down and talk with Tom and Andrea. Here's the interview. Take a look.
Can you just go back to the beginning for you here in Arizona and just get a sense of what the team meant to you? Did you guys move here as newlyweds?
Shane was here already, so he had played their first year here. He was drafted by Winnipeg, played their last year in Winnipeg, and then when the team moved here, he was here for their first year. We got married in '97, so then yes, I moved here and was actually attending college then. I wasn't quite finished, and he ended up getting sent down to the minors that year. So we didn't know if that would be it, like he'd get traded or if we'd be here or not there. So I actually had to drop out and then I moved back east, but he didn't. He ended up coming back, and that year we got pregnant with Gracie, and so yeah, the rest is history.
What did you think when you laid eyes on this place?
On Phoenix?
Yeah.
Okay, it was different. Like, I'm born and raised Canadian. I'd never been to Arizona, so I didn't know what to expect. I knew it was the desert, so I was expecting more sand. So I thought, oh, okay, no, this is like cacti and that kind of landscape, and it was a definite transition. We are used to winters and seasons and fall, and of course there's not that here, but it's gorgeous and beautiful and the weather is amazing, so we loved it like right away.
Is it safe to say you've adapted to Arizona
life? It is safe to say I have adapted to Arizona, yes.
This is y'all's home, right?
This is our home. All 4 of our kids were born and raised here. So yeah, it's definitely our home and we love it.
And so let's fast forward 27 years. Shane plays for the Coyotes. He's a legend in this state. And then a few years later, the team leaves town.
Well, yeah, it was only a year ago, really, which is hard to believe. We were talking about that where it's like, man, it kind of seems like longer than that, but it wasn't. And it was a total surprise to us. We didn't really see it coming. It was like, dang, okay, well, there we go. So, yeah, that happened.
Can you take us behind the scenes a little bit? How difficult was that? It was tough to see Shane over those last few weeks from time to time just because of what was happening and what was
I mean, obviously it's a loss and we were upset about it and hoping that it wouldn't come to that, but it was completely out of our control and the people involved were trying to do the best that they could, and that's what ended up happening. So we just had to take it for what it was. Our son was a part of the team at that time, so he of course moved to Utah with the Utah Hockey Club is what they were last year. They're now the Mammoth. And the owner there has done an unbelievable job, actually. Like, I think we could...
We'd all agree on that.
A little jealous, maybe?
Yeah, we could learn a little bit from him. He has done a remarkable job, and it's been, an unbelievable, for that city and for the players. I'm happy for them. But honestly, some of the players still have their homes here in Arizona. Like, there's not a player that you'll come across that did not absolutely love it here and love playing here and love the fans here and the community. So there's it's sad. It's sad that happened, but you know what? We're committed to figuring a way to bring it back and make it better than ever.
Were those the conversations right afterwards? Like, how quickly did you and Shane, or you yourself, start to have ideas about how maybe all this can happen?
Instantly there's people reaching out and are like, okay, we're going to figure this out. This is what our ideas are. This is what we're thinking. And we understand, that this happened, but there's a way to make it work. And it can work in Phoenix. It's what is it, the 5th largest city in the nation, and it has the people, it has the population, it has the sports fans, it has the hockey fans. It can work here. We know it can.
So, Tom, when did you connect with Andrea?
Recently, yeah.
Didn't know each other?
No, but I've gotten to know Shane Doan this year, and I just admire him as a man. Obviously, we've admired him for his exploits, but the Doan name itself is a really important name in Arizona, not just in sports, but in the community. They're known for their philanthropy. They're known for their love of Arizona. And not only did Shane Doan play for the Coyotes, but their son did as well. And she is a hockey mom, right? And she raised an NHL player here in the Valley, and we have several other NHL players here in the Valley as well. But I really appreciate Shane's insight. And as I said, in my speech in January when I became chairman, we need to do this the right way. And the right way is contacting Shane Doan, and it just led from there, and I'm very grateful to where we are today.
And briefly, why couldn't Shane do this? Not that Andrea's
Shane has a job, right? He's working in the front office of an NHL team. And frankly, Andrea's here quite a bit, but she will be with him in Canada. But we have this magical thing called virtual meetings. And so we're able to do things either over phone, over Zoom, what have you. And if she needs to be here for an in-person meeting, she will be. But it's going to be on Andrea's schedule as well.
So you dropped that little bombshell in January when you took over as chairman. What's the plan as of now for moving forward on bringing a team back?
The plan hasn't changed. The 2 priorities are to find an owner, and has to be a billionaire in this day and age in professional sports, unfortunately. That's just the way it is. And number 2, the issue that's been bedeviling the Valley is a location. So Andrea knows that full well, Shane knows that full well, because this has been their life for the last 25 years. I cannot imagine many other NHL careers that have had to have this hanging over their head the entire time. So Andrea knows this better than anyone, and that's why today we're making this announcement, because Andrea Doan knows better than anyone that you need to find an owner, you need to find a location. The process starts today.
Tom, I'm sure when you said, you made that first announcement, probably some people were like, we've heard that before, we've seen it before. Why did you feel so differently when you said what you said back in January?
Well, first of all, I think it takes leadership. We need good leadership here in the Valley on a wide variety of issues, not just sports, but I also think this is an economic development issue. And as I said in my speech, I really found it unfortunate when people were laughing when the Coyotes failed and left the Valley, and I said they took glee in the demise of our hockey team. Underscore the word our. This is a community effort. We're also working with Lindsay Fry, who's doing engagement with fans and youth hockey.
She's doing a fantastic
job, but when I met with Shane Doan, and this is a credit to him and his character, he said to me, Tom, I care about the sport of hockey, not just bringing back a pro hockey team. And I knew that that was very clear, important for him and for Andrea. So we've been working with Lindsay on how to engage with youth, how to engage with different communities that have not yet been engaged with hockey, but also to grow the sport of hockey itself. And so that's very important. And I know Andrea and Shane agree the same on that.
Andrea, when you got the call from Tom, what was your reaction?
Yes, absolutely. I will definitely do it. I'm excited about it, and I love Tom. This is going to be great.
Did that come out of the blue?
Well, no, I knew that he had been talking to Shane, and we had talked about it, and so they had been talking and had come up with this idea, and I think that yeah.
You know what Shane said? He says the best person for this job is Andrea. And that meant a lot, and frankly, he was right. So she's better than anyone, Shane included, for this job, and I think that's what's key.
Did he tell you that?
He is her biggest fan and supporter.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what he told me. Yeah.
So I know you're taking this slow, but next steps. So Andrea's in place. Yep. Folks are hungry to know what's next.
Well, we have to formalize the committee, actually formalize the names in the committee, who's going to be working on this committee. And as you know, I have 3 pillars for who serves on the committee. People who have the political connections, people who have the business connections, and people who have the hockey expertise. Politicians don't know a lot about hockey, and business executives don't know a lot about politics. So we have to have all 3 parts. It's like a 3-legged stool to make sure that this committee is going to be working forward in a positive way. But Andrea will be the lead, Andrea will be the face, but also Andrea will be chairing this committee, which is very important because we also have to send a message to the NHL, and we have to send a message to other cities. I think a lot of other cities like to get up in front and say, hey, we're going to get a hockey team, but for me, I don't think they're going about it the right way. We're going to go about it the right way. But we need to have public support and also to show the public why this is important.
Andrea, what are you looking for when you look for partners and people to invest in this idea that you guys are going to grow? You've seen it all. You've seen the good times, the bad times, behind the scenes stuff that we don't get to see. So what would you like to see in this group that you're trying to put together?
Well, Tom's actually stating it perfectly. I think that there needs to be the vision and the belief in what it takes to first and foremost not only bring the team back, but to create a winning franchise and what that takes, because people want to be supportive of a team that is winning. And I understand that, you know, there's peaks and valleys with any sport team. They're not always going to win. But when there's a commitment to win, and not just to win, but do whatever it takes to bring the Stanley Cup here, that's what I want to see happen. That's what my goal is to have not only the Arizona Coyotes back in Arizona, but a winning team that is going to win the Stanley Cup.
So you know the league, you know the sport. Shane knows the league, knows the sport. Who have you seen in the league that you think Arizona should look like? What team do you think is a real model for doing what you just described?
Well, I think Vegas did an unbelievable job. I mean, they knew their city, they knew their market, they came in right away and they were successful, and they still really are. I think actually Josh and I were at the game. We weren't planning on being there for the game that Washington won, but we ended up being there. That was the year that Shane was working for the NHL, so we ended up accompanying him on that trip. And I said to Josh, dang, we're here right now witnessing, you know, a team that just won the Stanley Cup in Vegas's first year of being in a franchise. Honestly, seeing, Seattle has done a really good job so far. And I mean, look at Florida. They've just won back-to-back Stanley Cups. They're in the South. Tampa. There's teams that have done it the right way. And I think that that's part of this, is doing the research and seeing what they've done. I think Vegas is a great place to honestly look into the things that they've done, and they're also in the desert. And that was what I looked at. I was super impressed with what they did right away with their organization.
I think Andrea makes such a great point. It's such a great question, because we're not going to be an original six team like Toronto, who already does a tremendous job. But we're looking at teams that have been successful in the Sun Belt, as she pointed out, like Florida, but also the Western cities that don't have that culture of hockey, but also have large communities where people who moved here from other states, unfortunately, are still cheering for the old teams. But look how people in Vegas and Seattle have now become fans of those teams, right? We also think Utah has done a really good job of embracing the community. So those are the things that we want to emulate, but at the same time, we want to move ahead of them. And we want to make people fall in love with the new team, whatever it is, but also make people here that are cheering for other teams cheer for this team. And got to do it in a way that you're looking at how it's done successfully in the Western region.
Andrea, does this get a chance for you guys to say things that you've always wanted to do on the table? Like, I want the hockey team to do this. I want, you know, this to happen at the arena. Like, ideas that you've had over the years, you kind of get to bring them up now in kind of this new
Yeah,
way of
I
life.
mean, yes, yes, but first we're starting like here, and you know, it's like first things first is figuring this out, and then, you know, as that comes up, then yes, we'll get to that.
So did Josh play in the youth programs here?
Yeah, he grew up here right from like a 1-year-old or 2-year-old.
I remember watching Shane coach him on the ice after he retired. He was skating with him all the time. It's really cool.
Yeah, the youth program here is excellent.
So the youth program here is excellent. That's widely agreed. Why didn't that translate to the fans?
I think it did. Well, when they first came here, it was sold out all the time. They kind of borrowed from what Winnipeg did with having the whiteout in the playoffs. I mean, it was electric. It was so loud. Everyone was a Coyotes fan. And what ended up happening, you could just see it like slowly but surely as there was, you know, confusion on ownership. We weren't sure, are they staying? There's rumors constantly that they might be moving. And so we're trying to rally the players like, okay guys, it's okay. Like, we're here together, we're playing, you know, on the Coyotes. Don't worry about any of that. But for the fans, there started to be a disconnect. And I understand that, because you're not sure well, I'm going to buy all of this gear and now they're just going to be gone, or I'm going to support these players and next year they're not even here. So that sort of shifted into, okay, well, our favorite team before was Chicago Blackhawks and they're in town, so let's cheer for them. So you understand how that can happen. But when Josh was playing here, and yes, it was at the Mullet, but there was something there when it was like the kid that was born and raised here, you could see his passion, everyone was behind that, and that is still here. So once this team is here and it's like, we're here to stay, this is a commitment, we're going to get that back. I know people love hockey here and are huge Coyotes fans.
A moment that sticks out in my mind is when he scored.
Yeah.
And you guys went crazy in that box. But it was such an Arizona moment.
It
was. Like,
was.
we all felt that. And you talk about the local kid growing up here.
Yeah.
That's just the moment that sticks out for me.
Yeah, and he was, and same with Matthew Nyes, and same with Austin Matthews, and the alumni here also is unbelievable. There's so many players that come back here and, they play together, they play rec hockey together. There's a huge community with that as well. They all want to be involved. Like, they all want to get the team back. Keith Yandel's texting us this morning, like, I can't wait. Come on, Spit and Chicklets. This is so awesome. Like, yeah, everybody loves the Coyotes. They cannot wait for it to be back.
You're going to be on Spit and Chicklets?
Well, I don't know.
She should.
Andrea, I guess that's my next question. Like, to put your family's name on this, to be the face, what has your phone been like this morning, and then how special is that for you?
Yeah, we're so excited about it. And I think that there's people, I don't know, I think in some ways we're still, like, it's like, really, there's no team here? It doesn't still feel fully real. Like, I feel like there still is hockey here, and obviously with ASU, and they've done an unbelievable job with their team, and that is fun to watch, by the way. If you've not watched a college hockey game there, that is a lot of fun too.
So, reality check. Have you talked to Gary Bettman lately, briefed him on this, what's happening now?
Our office provided him an update, obviously, about the major news today. We think we're going to make a really good impression, but I think Gary Bettman has already been impressed by the way we've been handling things over the past year. Very respectful, but also very deliberate. And also we have a good plan and a focus. And I think what also comes out in this interview is the passion from Andrea. And I know that you know Commissioner Bettman, so he's already well aware of her passion and her expertise and her intellect. And so I think once he sees that she's involved with us, that this is going to make a really good impression, not just with the NHL headquarters, but with all the other owners in the NHL.
Andrea, do you send him an email? Gary?
No, I thought about it, and I thought, oh, I'll just wait. We'll probably talk.
What do you want to say to him, though? What do you want to get across?
I want to say, let's get this done. What do we need to do? We're all in.
So he was on Pat McAfee's show, I think back in late July, and said, expansion isn't something I'm thinking about now. Well, what seems he's saying is it's going to be a few years. Right. But there are lots of markets out there that are interested. Is that you?
Yeah, and to his credit, it's a wait and see, right? Because there's multiple cities that want to have NHL teams, and I don't even have to list them all. But the only thing that we can care about, the only thing that Andrea and I care about is Phoenix. If we just do the right thing in the right way, we're going to get a team. We're going to get there. But is it easy? Absolutely not. Not easy. We got to work hard for it. But we have to earn it. We're not entitled to it. We have to earn it, but we got to do the right thing, and we can't worry about the other cities.
So next steps, we'll see this committee filling out. How soon?
Relatively soon. I'm not going to give a timeline on that. I've learned that job and that lesson in politics.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
What? 2 weeks?
You're fired.
Kidding.
No, I'm kidding. So it's going to happen. But the point is, in fact, we have such a good outpouring of people wanting to be involved that it doesn't even matter what the timeline is. Eventually it's going to come out. But once again, the story should be about today and this week about Andrea Doan. I think hockey fans here in Arizona deserve this. I think hockey fans in Arizona are going to be very excited by this. But also it shows that this is a real serious effort. And frankly, a lot of the efforts over the last few years with different ownership groups, I didn't think was serious. I didn't think it had a plan. I didn't think it had an end game. We're not going to go down that trap because, frankly, I don't want to let down Andrea and Shane and their family.
Andrea, can you speak to the fans real quick? I've asked Shane many times, like, what the community support means to him and how much they've kind of rallied behind your family. So I want to ask you, like, what has it meant all these years, the way people in this community and fans have treated your family?
Yeah, I think these are the best fans in the NHL. And maybe I'm biased and we were only here, but you know what? We've played in other cities and we've seen other hockey communities, and I love the fans here. And I think that they've not been given enough credit because I don't know who I was talking about. You know, sometimes there'll be social media posts and that's what everything will be focused on. Like, oh, there's not that many fans here or whatever. Well, I was at those games, and there were a lot of fans there, and there was a lot of support. And I want to bring it back for those fans. Like, people are just living their lives and they're busy. Every single person doesn't have time to sit there and tweet or write on social media how much the team means to them. But you know, I see it and I know it and I live it, and they come up to us personally, and you know, all of our kids have lived here and born here, and we know the involvement behind just, you know, like the social media or the Twitter comments or whatever.
So talk to all those Canadians who are hate watching this right now.
They're not. They're not.
You know, I know.
There's a lot of Canadians.
I mean, the Canadians in Canada.
The Canadians in Canada, they can't wait for the team to be back
here.
here.
Just can't wait for Phoenix to fail.
Really? You think that?
Come on. I saw it, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if anyone wanted them to fail. I think there was a frustration in what was going on. You know, I think that if like to Tom's point, it had been done in a way that focused on what the focus needs to be on, and winning and everything else, like, it is interesting how a winning team really does change a lot. And people love to support a winning organization. And I think that that's what, you know, if Arizona had a more opportunity for that, I don't think there would be the backlash. And then, of course, you know, there's Canadian teams that want their team back. I know Quebec has wanted that. And you know what? I get it. I agree with them, you know, and same with Winnipeg. But honestly, Winnipeg's team, I think it was in 1979 that the Jets became an NHL team. When they left and came here, they were there for 17 years. The team here was here for 28 years. That does not get enough credit. They were here almost 10 years longer, and Winnipeg got their team back, and it should have been their team. You know, like, I get that, and I understand that what they would have felt like, and so.
Fans here could see through, I think, past owners. They knew what was real and what wasn't real. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the vibe I always got. They could tell what the interests were, what they weren't.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing with you guys attaching your family's name to this. They know you, and they're ready to get behind it.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a good observation.
Yeah.
We haven't really had that connection in ownership or leadership.
Well, and I think as a player, you know, Shane was a player here for 20 plus years, and so you're in a different position. You're not in a management position. And as a player, you don't have a lot of control. Remember that. You know, you're doing your job as a player. And so just like Josh, you know, it's not like you have a say and all of a sudden the next thing you know, you're traded to Buffalo. So that's the way that it is. And I, you know, Tom and I were talking about that too. Like, one of the things that there needs to be awareness of is that when you are involved with a sports franchise, yes, it's entertainment, of course, we understand that, but they are human beings. They're people that are playing. There needs to be an understanding that, you know, all the predictions and the analysis in the world is still not going to fully predict what can happen with people. And so those relationships are key.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I want to build on that point, because when I made my announcement in January, I was scoffed at by media from around the country and frankly across North America. But I said, you need to separate, when you think about the word Coyotes, because it was making people laugh, are you laughing at Coyotes because of the failures of the last 3 or 4 ownership groups, or you're laughing about Coyotes fans? Because those are two separate things. Coyotes fans did everything asked of them, bent over backwards for this franchise and for this team. You have to separate that out. When you think of the word Coyotes and you start laughing, really tell me why you're laughing, because you're not laughing at the fans and the people who stuck through this franchise through thick and thin. You're laughing about all the headlines that happen off the ice, nothing about on the ice. And so we have to make that difference apparent.
Tom, is this a push to bring the Coyotes back or just pro hockey back to the desert, or is it the same?
I want to let Andrea answer that question because I think she has a great perspective on it.
Well, yeah, for me, it's the Coyotes back. I don't want to see whatever, the Arizona Scorpions.
Roadrunners? No?
Well, there is a Roadrunners. They're in Tucson.
So just to be, you want the name to stay?
Yes, that is what's coming back.
That's your lead right there.
Do you have to buy it back?
No, the NHL has retained the logo and the team name and the records, which I think is also
For that
important for
reason.
Andrea as well.
Yeah, because that was put to sleep. So that's why Utah was technically an expansion, not expansion. They did a really good job wording all this.
Does that like fire you up to say that? Like, I want the Coyotes back, and now you have a major
Yeah,
part?
you've worked your whole life for this. I've watched my husband like sacrifice everything as an athlete to do whatever he could. And he never once did not believe in not winning here. You know, I think that, of course, yes, what people can say is, oh, ha, ha, but no one is starting a season thinking, can't wait to lose again. Like, you're just not doing that. And he believed in it and still believed, despite all the challenges, that they could win here. And you can.
Yeah, I know your family's really close. What were your kids' reaction to this?
Well, they're excited. Yeah, like.
What'd they tell Mom? Come on, what was the group chat like? What did they tell you?
The group chat? Oh, Gracie, what was our group chat? You know what? Everybody, honestly, everyone's excited about it. They really are. They all can't wait. And we're hockey fans in, general. So we're Buffalo fans and we're Toronto fans. And, most of all, right now, I am working on getting this team back so that we can go back to our #1 team, which is the Arizona Coyotes.
Any text messages from billionaires this morning?
Unfortunately, not yet. Maybe after they see this video.
You want to hand out your phone number?
I think they know where to find me. Yeah, that's not going to stop them.
Yeah.
But that part we're going to take serious as well. Obviously, pro sports now is a big business, and unfortunately, there's a lot of zeros involved if you want to get a team, right? So as much as finding a good location for a franchise is good, we need to have a good owner. Shane put his blood, sweat, and tears on the ice. Their son put his blood, sweat, and tears on the ice. This is why holding on to the records is important to Andrea. But at the same time, they've also dealt with different ownership groups. And I think Shane probably had a lot of opportunities to leave the Valley, to go to different teams, to get more money, to get more exposure. And he stuck through here through thick and thin. The family stuck through here through thick and thin. So it's really important that whoever is the owner takes hockey seriously and takes this franchise seriously and the fans seriously.